Hello amazing viewers, good day to you all. Welcome to my channel. Is it that there is a faction or there are factions within CAN, or it is the handiwork of the APC? Because as far as I'm concerned, the order they are read, which I am just showing you the headline, that CAN deny anything like killing of Christians in Nigeria. And that's after, the US, some of the US senators raised alarm. Mind you, the Senate, both the red chamber and the green chamber, debunk the whole talk. In fact, I have never seen Nigerian Senate on their toes. Immediately, the US talked about the whole thing and talked about sanction. We have some senators from Canada. Boom! They want to take action. Even with Senator Alain Dume saying yesterday on national television the implications and insisting that no such thing is happening. Again, I ask, do we have faction within CAN? If there is none, then I think CAN should follow suit and find out the group of individuals or the person that, impersonated and said, oh, we don't have anything like Christian killing in Nigeria. Now, yesterday, another faction came out to say, oh, there is something, or we can say that there is something called killing of Christians in Nigeria. Where my concern is the fact that the government doesn't want to do anything about it. It doesn't matter whether it's even Muslim or Christians being killed. As much as they are trying to deny this thing, it didn't happen, there is no such thing, terrorism affects everyone. Look at the patterns of killing. Look at it. It is even more recently that I noticed, which I've said before, that I read that some gunmen or some terrorists entered and they killed some persons. Whether it is a Muslim or it is a Christian being killed, the government kept quiet for so long because of some nonsense reasons best known to them, which I believe is a selfish reason. They cannot tell me they don't know the people who are busy sponsoring bandits that we have heard of. Until this very date, no name. They can't say they don't know the persons. So CAN has come out to say, okay, there is something called killing of Christians in Nigeria. Which automatically, terminates or nullify the previous news headline that I read, which I am going to, read out what the media reported. But before I get to do that, let me first of all show us the video of Rufai, where he has really, talk about this certificate forgery thing. I'm going to show you the clip and then we'll be back.
In this same government, it's obvious that a game of Teddy Picker was played with the ministerial positions. Naji went through the cracks. They never found anything wrong with him. The DSS never found anything wrong with him. He passed through the system. But Nasir El Rufai was found out for security challenges. So is it that the DSS then, anyway, I'm not sure that happened. I'm not sure the current head of the DSS was there then. And I'm making a strong case for him because he has done well consistently. And when he has not done well, I will say it. So is it that the DSS then could not detect forgery, could not detect skewed narratives in the certificates, and they allowed Unaji pass, but all of a sudden they were so quick to detect everything in El Rufai? And secondly, I know the case is in court already, but who is now going to institute the case for forgery? Because it's a very grievous offense. And that's it. Because as with the case, and I'll tell you why, Ayo, that Atiku Abubakar is saying this. Because when this happened in the past, the case that was taken to court for determination was about, was she eligible to be minister? I'm talking about the Kemi Adeosun. forgery was not considered. So in this case, somebody should be able to take the case of forgery to court and take him up on this. And if they have the fact, let the court judge. We should not just say, oh, he's paid the supreme price. Because as at the night he resigned, some of the people in his camp were still defending him heartily on television. Let's not play a game of cherry picker.
I maintain that we will blame the assembly as much as we blame the DSS. And that's why I couldn't even, try to understand what Senator Ojus Okalu was saying. And even according to the headlines, what Aline Dume said with regards to that their job is just to, how did he even put it again? What was the headline? Their job is to confirm the nominee. For assembly that understands how fantastically corrupt Nigeria is, are you not also supposed to do the needful, even if the DSS does? And truly, how come they found fault with Malam Nasiru El-Rufai's own, which makes me believe is political, but you did not find anything if with the energy for people who clearly did their job? Please, somebody should make it make sense. The level of negligence, carelessness, corruption, I don't care attitude being displayed by our leaders is on another level. Okay, till this very moment, even though he has resigned, has the DSS come out to tell Nigerians or explain to Nigerians the mistake they made? How come they made the mistake? No such thing. I have never seen anyone to that effect. Please, if you've seen, correct me. Even the assembly that is trying to absolve, themselves of any blame, what action will they take against the DSS? I have never even see them talk about this matter with utmost seriousness, knowing fully well that, okay, the DSS, since they say they are not to blame, failed in doing their job, failed in doing the due diligence. I have never seen them talk about it. In fact, the way Ojus Okalu presented it, he presented it like it's not a big deal. From the interview on China's television, he talked about it like it's not a big deal. So, at the end of the day, that is why I believe that at the end of the day, nothing will be done to this person. It doesn't just end in resigning. It ends in other things, serious consequences, serious penalty for forgery. I have so many public office holders, so many of them within that place, they move around with these things. Hence, the, triviality they treat the whole matter with. It's a shame. Say this kind of thing they happen, and then nobody they come out, they hold somebody accountable for it. It's a shame. And that's why I feel say this 10th assembly now very serious rubber stamp assembly. Thank you so much. Please do leave your opinion in the comment section. Now I am going to read out the what the Khan came out to say, the one that said, oh, there's actually something called Christian killing. And of course, I'm going to show you a video of, Prophet Isa Eboba also saying that there is something called Christian killing in Nigeria. The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has expressed grave concern over the persistent violence and insecurity facing Christian communities across the country, particularly in northern Nigeria, where many have suffered severe attacks, loss of lives, and destruction of places of worship. In a press release issued on Wednesday, CAN said the scale of killings and displacement affecting Christians had reached alarming proportions, calling for urgent and transparent intervention from the government and security agencies. The statement, titled Christian Genocide, clarifies position and signed by its national president Archbishop Daniel Oko condemned the continued targeting of Christian communities and criticized what he described as a slow and inconsistent response of authorities. Khan affirms without hesitation that many Christian communities in parts of Nigeria, especially in the north, have suffered severe attacks, loss of life, and the destruction of places of worship, the statement read. These realities are painful reminders of the urgent need for government and security agencies to act decisively to protect every citizen regardless of religion, it added. According to Khan, the association has over the years made significant efforts to draw both national and international attention to the plight of Christians in Nigeria. The association has established mechanisms for recording incidents of religiously motivated killings, engaged with international partners, written to the International Criminal Court in The Hague, and hosted global Christian organizations such as the World Evangelical Alliance and the Lausanne Movement, Khan stated. Despite these ongoing efforts, the association lamented that cries for justice and protection are too often met with delay or denial, warning that the government's failure to act swiftly could further deepen mistrust and endanger national unity. We therefore renew our call on government and security agencies to take urgent, transparent, and equitable action to end the killings, safeguard vulnerable Christian communities from displacement, and ensure that perpetrators face the full weight of the law, the statement continued. The pain of Christian families torn apart by violence must never be treated as mere statistics, Archbishop Oko emphasized. While acknowledging the government's effort to combat insecurity, Khan urged authorities to intensify protection measures across all faiths and religions. Nigeria's healing will not come from denial or blame, but from courage, the courage to face our collective failures, to grieve together, and to rebuild trust within our communities. Only then can our nation rise from its wound and embrace a future of genuine peace, Oko said. The statement also addressed the growing international campaign against alleged Christian genocide in Nigeria, following recent claims by U.S. Senator Ted Cruz and television host Bill Maher, who alleged that Christians were being systematically targeted and killed in the country. Similarly, U.S. lawmaker Riley M. Moore had called on Secretary of State Marco Rubio to take decisive diplomatic action against the Nigerian government over what he described as the systemic persecution and slaughter of Christians in Nigeria.
I'm speaking to every one of you Nigerians, and I want us to take note of this. We all have, I keep saying it, we have a responsibility to defend and protect the integrity of our country. We also have a responsibility to make sure that this country do not go into the point where we continue to ride on deception. Truth is truth, and truth must not be covered for anything. If there is anything that has been brought up, we must work together to see to an end to this reality. There is this issue that is ongoing about the genocide in Nigeria against the Christians of the Middle Belt, and it is true. We can't deny it. Before the militants and some of the Islamic militants began to kill some of the Hausas in Zamfara and other places, we all know that Christian communities were totally displaced, and we have recorded tens of thousands of Christians in the northern Nigeria that have been killed and their communities have been taken away. This is genocide. What is the meaning of genocide? I mean, the English definition is there. What genocide means. Now, I want you, except you are an enemy of Nigeria, but if you know that you're passionate and you're patriotic about the state of this country, then we must share this among ourselves and speak the truth to ourselves and agree with the reality of what is on ground. I have had some of the special assistant media and all of that to the president coming out to say there is no genocide in Nigeria. It's a lie, absolute lie. Just look at it. From in 2025, over 7,000 Christians were killed. Now, in just 2025, 7,087 Christians were killed in 220 days of 2025 alone. Now, daily average Christians that are being killed per day is 32 Christians per day that are being killed in this country. Another record in 2024, 3,100 Christians were killed. In 2023, 4,118 Christians were killed. Between the period of October 2022 to September 2023, from the documents that we have, 4,118 Christians were killed. We all know about the Christmas massacre that was coordinated by the Fulani militias on the plateau in 2023. You know that 300 Christians were massacred. So you don't talk about Benue. Just within 2023, 500 Christians were killed throughout 2023 in Benue. And you go to this community, I have been there. The Christians are not there any longer. They have been displaced. So there is genocide in Nigeria. And so nobody can tell us lies when we know we have lost so much of our brethren. I have joined in the burial and the mourning of tens of thousands of Christians that have been destroyed and killed in this great country. All I encourage the Nigerian state is to rise up to occasion. Whether it is an attack on a Muslim, whether it is an attack on a church, we must stop it. There is genocide going on. And people are being eliminated, taken away from their community. And I want to say again, we cannot allow a one-party system in this country. It is not healthy. As much as we give our support to the system and the government to succeed, Nigeria cannot survive on one-party system. And I want to say to all these selfish, self-centered politicians, it is time you rethink your actions. Corruption among you must stop, and you must rise up for this time to make sure that Nigeria is salvaged and that together we fix this country. May God help every Nigerian, and may God continue to watch over the system and make things work for the good of everyone. God bless you. Share this with every Nigerian of good conscience. Let's pray. Number two, let's participate in the process and make sure that people don't just come on media. I was hurt, I was injured to see some of these media men coming on to say there is no genocide in this country. Lies must stop, and it must stop in our time.
These are things I want to see. These are the kind of men I want to see. Raise their voice. Tell the truth. Even when it hurts, you still want to stand to say this is what the truth is. As much as the government is trying to deny this thing, for goodness sakes, look at the patterns now. Look at the patterns. You get to understand that, okay, it's as if it's being targeted. How about the eve of the 24th? Yes, you can, if they want to say, oh, yes, so before we noticed that this is the pattern, even though in the past, some of them from the DC, people like Mohammed never talk about them, even the Tinubu himself never condemned Christian killings. The one at Owa been aware and call for inside church. What is he called? Even though they want to say, okay, maybe now it has spread, both the Muslims and the Christian is being affected. But please, please, let's learn to call a spade a spade. My biggest problem is that the government doesn't want to do anything about it. They are handling it with little or nothing has been done to stop the entire thing called terrorism, killing, insurgency, banditry, herdsmen, or whatever it is they want to give the name. Nothing, little or nothing has been done. So, when will they do something? Now, because the US has raised alarm, it is now okay for them to say, oh, no, there's no such thing that is happening. Why? They think that the US, no, they know a sea road. They know they understand the patterns of the killings. Do they think they don't understand these things? The people who raised alarm, they know clearly what they are talking about. I said they talk my own. Which faction of the can, if I thought there's a faction that came out to say that there's to dismiss that there's no killing of Christians in Nigeria? What faction is that? And if we have another one that came out to say now, which is this one I'm believing, that came out to say, oh, there's something called killing of Christians in Nigeria, please, they should look it up and hold the other person responsible. It depends, say yes, so the Nigeria, this thing go affect. Because according to Aline Dume, they used to give them ammunition and the rest. The Nigerian don't produce any weapon, which you understand. They used to give ammunition and the rest, and then the army will complain that the Boko Haram, they have more sophisticated weapon than them. So all the sophisticated weapon where, at least, thank God they admit now that they used to give them weapon, US. Now, all the weapon where US they give them, Alpha, where is it? Where is they? Why they never use and clear these people since? Why? They never use and clear these people since. Then sit down, nobody won't call name. Nobody wants to call the name of the people who are busy allegedly, pushing and sponsoring these individuals. Nobody wants to call name. And then you want people to not raise alarm and tell the truth the way it is. No, people will always tell the truth the way it is. If it's going to make the government sit up and do the needful, then they should sit and do the needful. Since how many days now haven't they been on their toes? Haven't they been on their toes? They even sit down very, very well, balanced, without noise to discuss the whole matter, because US talk about sanction. And their concern is the sanction. Not even how do we fight this, since the US is saying, okay, this is what is happening. Kai, no. You see this truth? We must always learn to say it. God will bless Prophet Issa Ebuba for me. And of course, the can that came to confirm too. Thank you so much for watching. Please do leave your opinion in the comment section. Kindly subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so. Click on the bell icon the moment you subscribe. That way you get to know as soon as I publish. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you for the immense support. I am super grateful. God bless you richly. Do enjoy the rest of your day and see you guys in my other videos.